are not telling you. Africa was reduced. They took possession. Does this sound familiar to you? So let's go. Hey there, this is Joadre. Now today we're going to talk about the Berlin Conference and how it shaped the future of West Africa. So February 26th, 1985, just like one of the G's high-level conference, European powers sat together for some Currywurst and some violent gossip. So the big agenda was, how can we frame this era to make us look like saints?
We need a moral justification.
Let's frame it the civilizing mission to end the slave trade.
Preach Christianity.
But it is important to present this mission as a benevolent endeavor to improve the lives of the Africans.
So this conference was all about Africa. Very well-meaning Europeans deciding the fate of the African continent without any African present. Hopefully that does not happen today, but you decide after I have dissected these open secrets from the conference. Now, so since the decision that was made in Berlin without any African present changed the fate of the continent forever, I want to know, what was this decision that was made? Before we dive deep into this, I want you to understand that Africa was like a mosaic of diverse cultures, kingdoms, and societies before this event. It was not like the African leaders were just like sitting down like, okay, they're talking about us somewhere, let's wait and see what the decision is. No, there was resistance, against this greed coming from Europe and the West. I wanted to know who sat on our table, right? When people are making decisions and you're not there, about you and you're not there, sometimes it's important to know who is on that table, because that will shape your understanding of the future. Let me say Germany was there, well, they were the host of the party. And France, Great Britain, Portugal, Belgium, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Austria-Hungary. And Austrians are more like, no, we never had anything to do with colonization. No. Well, they were busy in Eastern Europe, but they were at the party, and Russia, and Russia is, bringing their ties to Africa. We should be careful. And Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Oh my God, the Vikings. Ottoman Empire. A representative of the United States was there, though the US did not formally endorse the General Act of the conference. So this is like, you're invited to a party, okay, let's say a wedding, the bride, the groom and best man, everybody, the parents, everybody. And actually maybe you come from that family, right? But you live somewhere else. Now you don't want to identify as, that's your roots. Then you come, they invite you, because now there's a big cake to share, right? The African continent. So America comes and they sit there, have fun, enjoy the party, get some currywurst, rip off the continent into different pieces, and then don't sign the contract. So why were you there in the first place? Anyway, let's go to why we have this video today. Leaders like Samori Toure and the Ashantis fought bravely against this greed and colonization. Their efforts, although, were ultimately overpowered. There was an act, right? There was an act. The Berlin Act, signed at the conference. It prioritized the effective occupation of territories. What does this mean? Effective occupation of territories.
Good morning, natives. This land now belongs to us. You must labor and tilt the soil, but the yields belong to us. By the way, that gold, rubber, cocoa, and all those other goods belong to us as well. Everything you do must serve our interest.
I don't understand, but that's basically effective occupation, right? And now, let's get a closer look into some of the articles that are like open secrets, but somehow we don't have the time to dissect some of all this paperwork, right, that are signed on our behalf. But they impact what happens then on ground. So I'm going to take the time to start dissecting some of all these agreements for us to understand better and make informed choices. These things, they're historical events, right? But they might just be playing themselves right in our front and we don't know. Unlock the potential of micro businesses in Africa with PackBuddy. Support and receive awesome rewards. Join us today to make a real impact. Now, this is from one of the articles. I think I'll just put it on the screen. Any European power that took possession, just listen to the words, took possession of an African territory or established a protectorate had to notify the other signatory powers to avoid conflict. So it's not even about anybody in the African continent. It's about the peace between the Europeans, the Americans, the West. It's about their peace, how they secure their peace while they exploit the continent. Now, with this article, Africa was reduced to a chessboard. It was a complete disregard for what has existed before. So culturally, socially, politically, because we had very intricate and sophisticated political systems. So there's so many articles. This one is this one is interesting. Now, trade in the Congo basin was to be free for all nations. What you get? I'm stealing and I'm giving the rules. And no monopolies were to be established. This is free trade. This is like where free trade stems from, right? It's free trade until you feel threatened and you now make laws to ban the opponent. The Congo basin was turned into a resource hub for European economies. Is this somehow current, or does this sound familiar? Is this just history that's happened before that is not repeating itself in any form? Let's be very vigilant here.
There have been 6 million conflict-related deaths in the DRC since 1998. The overlooked crisis in Congo. The DRC is a treasury of minerals, including an estimated 70% of the world's known cobalt, a vital component of lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles and other green energy products.
So the local population saw little benefit from this trade, as the wealth that was generated was siphoned to Europe. The thing behind this act, we must remember, is an economic shift that was happening at 1885, the Industrial Revolution. They needed raw materials, right? And not this labor-intensive plantation style. And where can you find the raw materials needed?
In the future, we will need new markets for our surplus goods. But for now, we need cheap raw materials.
This is why there was the mission to totally eradicate the transatlantic enslavement trade, because they actually needed the labor now back on the African continent. So one thing I can take out of this analyzation is there is a stark contrast between the stated intentions and the harsh reality of what really happens. If there is nothing else you take away from this video, one thing you should take away is never listen to what they say. Watch and observe what they do. I am talking from personal experience. Now, can you change the past? No. Why should you be bothered with historical events? Wait, because you can better forecast future events and equip yourself to come out victorious. So listen up. The show is not over yet. 1885 has been updated. It's the future with AI. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button not to miss out on what's coming up next. Berlin Conference 1885 2.0.